Welcome, everybody. It is always such a pleasure for me as a former county supervisor and a former president of the California State Association of Counties to be able to work with county leaders and to be a continuing member of the CSAC family. Marissa Ganchet is our Director of Adoptions for the California Emerging Technology Fund. Over the last 2+ years, CETF has been a grant partner with the California uh, Counties Foundation to be able to work with all 58 members of CSAC, all 58 counties. We have had the opportunity to provide a $350,000 grant to CSAC and through the California Counties Foundation. And when Marissa says this is our last webinar, it is to complete that grant. We do hope and look forward to opportunities in the future where we can continue our partnership. And today you're going to hear about those continuing opportunities for us to support counties and joint venture with counties even after this grant is concluded. I do want to acknowledge how much we appreciate working with CSAC and the California Counties Foundation, to thank Veronica Smith for all your hard work, Celote for supporting and managing today, and also for being able to work with Dr. Danchik. We are today going to really have a capstone on this current grant, and I hope you will appreciate, because we do, all the leadership of counties that you're going to hear about, and also that we're able to continue the support to counties through a grant from the California Public Utilities Commission in their California Advanced Services Fund adoption account. So with that, it's just a great honor to have this opportunity to work with Paul throughout most of this grant period, as well as Veronica, and who's also always very, very responsive and has been a co-leader, an opening remark person for these webinars that we have done with counties and various regions throughout California. So thank you so much, Paul. Here is Dr. Paul Danchik.
Thank you, President Wright McPeak. Look, this work isn't possible without your many efforts. And I just want to recognize the work that CETF has done over the decades. As we might be feeling this today, it's all this hard work that Sonny, that you and your predecessor had led over the years to be able to first recognize the need for digital equity and then continue to advance those conversations, even when our political will or our social will might not be fully in alignment. Look, there's no more critical time than when we first experienced how this divide showed up in all of our lives in very visible ways when COVID first hit. And while you and others have been waving the flag of saying we need to get on top of this, we need to continue to advance these conversations, it wasn't felt by many of us, me included, in beautiful Amador County, until I saw the impact that it had on my kids and their classmates whenever we switched from an in-person class to a virtual class. And having that visualization of those school buses going out to underserved communities so the kids are able to log on to the basics of being able to have a formal education was really eye-opening. And that was before my time joining the CSAC Foundation, but it continues to stick with me on realizing the role of public service is to continue to advance those public goods and public services that enhance our communities, knowing that sometimes it's not there's not a lot of interest and support to be able to do it. Yet fundamentally, we know that these efforts must take place in order to have strong, vibrant communities. And Sonny, I just want to thank you for your continued vision in advancing these conversations and navigating these political dynamics that are happening at the national and state level to continue to create access and visibility for all this work. I want to thank your team as well. Marissa Ganchet has been our point of contact throughout the last couple of years to be able to host these types of webinars, to be able to see what's happening in real time and to look forward in the projections on where are we headed and where are those many efforts coming into play and additional resources to make this all possible. So, Marissa, I want to give you a shout out because you're the closest to us in many ways, and also know that there's Patty and others on your team. They're just remarkable to be able to lend support and lend an ear whenever we need to seek your counsel. I'm looking forward to a great presentation today on seeing where we are, a snapshot in time, and appreciate how you always center us on where we are and then stretch us to look forward on what's to come. Sunny, I'm passing it back to you to introduce the rest of the team and get us underway.
Thank you, Paul. And I do want to underscore how valuable it has been to have your leadership, your, steady assurance that we were reporting regularly to the California Counties Foundation. I had the opportunity to do so in April at the spring conference. And it is always a time when I get to interact with county supervisors and executive administrators from counties. And that is such a treat because only counties are actually touching every corner of California, all 58 counties. Every county is unique. Every county has its own systems and knows what is needed in their communities and actually is able to deliver services. So that is why the opportunity to work through counties is the best way to get to people who are in need of any service, and especially for the California Emerging Technology Fund, the mission of getting everybody online and becoming digitally proficient and able to get out of poverty and be self-sufficient. So today you're going to hear about our digital equity ecosystem and from various members of our CETF team. I want to underscore that this partnership from CSAC or with CSAC has allowed us to learn even more, and we have refined what we call this digital equity ecosystem that is continuing to be even more seamless and provides the optimal impact for whatever funds we have available. To go through this, I am going to now introduce our director of the call center, our Get Connected call center, as we call it, Patty Bibby. The key that you're going to hear about is what counties have been doing that we call direct notification. You're reaching out to all of the households in your counties on Medi-Cal and CalFresh. And that is how this whole ecosystem actually gets triggered to reach the most people. So with that, let me just thank Patty for your hard work and introduce Patty Bibby.
Thank you, Sunny. Good morning, everybody. As Sunny just mentioned, I'm going to discuss our digital equity ecosystem we have here at California Emerging Technology Fund. The initiative is aimed to support all of you, our partner organizations, by providing essential services so to allow you to focus on your core activities. The digital equity ecosystem addresses three main barriers to adoption. The cost. This includes cost of both internet service as well as appropriate computing devices. Relevance, outreach in language and culture by you, the trusted messenger, which is crucial to explain the benefits of internet connectivity to unconnected households in your communities. And then digital literacy, ensuring individuals know how to use the internet once they do get their households connected. We've developed and fine-tuned some of our resources that we already have in place to support you so you can focus on that outreach, keep your boots on the ground, and deliver your services in language and in culture to those most in need. And we can support you various different ways. Some are with statewide relationships. We can facilitate peer support, coaching, training, collaboration, and introducing communities, public and private partners to each other to maybe join forces. We like to foster collaboration so everyone can work smarter and not harder. We also work at scale. CETF, we are able to offer cost-effective implementation and grant management of your services. We'll help with recruiting and vetting CBOs, preparing and processing grant agreements, training staff for any of your roles that you might need, plus monitoring and coaching grantees, and also managing the grant payments. While we're doing all that, we'll also assist you with building your local capacity. Like I said, we will train your staff, your participants, your community members in whichever task that you assign them to. This training also includes our curriculum for our digital navigator training modules. Our training modules have been developed with partnership with California State Chico. So once our digital navigators have graduated from this training, they'll receive a digital certification to show that they are the trusted messengers and qualified to deliver training to your community members. And we can help set up that whole process from start to finish, from recruitment to getting them out, being able to train your community. We'll also continue that training by hosting learning communities if needed for continual education of those digital navigators. A big part of our ecosystem is our direct notification. Direct notification is essential for reaching those most in need, and it can include texting, email, and sending out by mail notifications in multiple languages by credible sources. And now is the perfect time for you guys to start your digital, your direct notification campaigns, because repeat messaging is key. Currently, as I'm looking over on my other screen, we have literally thousands of calls coming in today because the Department of Health, California Department of Social Services started their campaign today by texting 3.2 million CalFresh recipients that they would qualify for low cost and affordable home internet. So now is the perfect time, like I said, to piggyback on that message and reinforce and drive it home to your communities. When a partner works with us with direct notification, they receive a unique IVR telephone number. IVR stands for Interactive Voice Recorder, or some of you might know it as the phone tree for the call center, which your community would call into. We'd be able to track your outcomes, your enrollments, how many calls came in as a result of your outreach. And then they'll be connected immediately with our CBOs in language and culture that the caller chose. We'll also assist them personally with a three-way call with the internet service provider to ensure there's clear communication and to prevent any upselling by the ISP. The call center works directly and very closely with our direct notification managers. Our call center works with the IVR line that I mentioned a moment ago, and they are transferred to the original digital navigators for immediate assistance. The digital navigators that we have on the call center must meet monthly performance standards to receive calls from your community members. In addition, they receive active management and real-time coaching, which is critical to deliver our high-quality service and knowledge for the assistance our households calling in require. Some other resources that you will have access to include our toolkits, templates for outreach materials, grant templates, tracking templates can be developed, and we can pretty much work with you to assist you with any other documentation or tools you might need. Then we move into our digital navigator training. We've developed curriculum and a facilitator guide based on the UNESCO framework and the 6 elements. And we are able to coach these digital navigators to success. The curriculum is partnered with proficiency self-assessments. And then also we have a second option for those choosing not to go to in-person or online training. We have an online asynchronous training for those who want to do their training at their own pace in the comfort of their own home. And then also those who complete our digital literacy training can use this asynchronous training as a enhancement to their digital literacy they've already received. And for both our synchronous and asynchronous training that we'll discuss a little bit more in depth in a few moments, both contain the proficiency self-assessments. So the participant can see how much they've learned, how much they've improved, which gives them even more confidence moving forward in their digital life. We'll also help you with just our experience and strategies that we've developed, especially in any in-person enrollment events you might want to have. Also, we have developed revenue streams for computing devices through the California Green Technology Initiative that launches in a few weeks. And the California Green Technology Initiative will decrease the volume of retired computing devices and keep them from being dismantled and shipped offshore to increase the supply chain and remaining those in state to help close our digital divide. And then finally, we will assist with any data analysis and management you might need. All these are available for you. We are open to share any of our resources with you because we want to help each county close your digital divide. So I'll give it back over to Marissa to tell you a little bit more.
Patty mentioned direct notification, which is the primary purpose why we're meeting today. But of course, the other components of our digital equity ecosystem is just as important. And my colleagues will go into greater detail about 2 of those components in just a moment. But what I want to specifically talk about is the opportunity to partner with CETF to get a direct notification completed in your county. As Patty mentioned earlier, we can support with the cost of the direct notification through a grant that we received from the CPUC. And there are 3 ways that we can do that. One is through direct mail. And in a minute, I'll show you the collateral that we've developed for direct mail. It's a great little postcard that I think is super effective. And we are really encouraging counties to consider doing a direct mail and sending those postcards out. The second one is an email blast that will include information about the low cost offers and perhaps a flyer that we've developed to be attached to the email so that folks have greater understanding of what it means to subscribe to a low cost offer, but also receive support at the call center level. And then the final one is through a texting campaign. So we've developed templates and text messaging that you can, of course, customize and, as Patty mentioned, include that unique phone number so that we're able to track the success of your outreach. On the left is a sample of the postcard that CDSS has used to distribute to their participants. And on the right is a sample of the flyer. As you can see, there's a space down at the bottom where we will enter that unique phone number for you. All of these materials come in a variety of languages. If there is a language that we currently do not have, we are happy to make arrangements to have these materials translated into the language that you need for your county. And so we're happy to work with you in customizing these materials. We're pretty flexible on, how you would like your collateral to look. As you can see, CDSS wanted to co-brand our materials, so we were happy to do that. But again, if there's something else that you wanted to add onto the collateral that is important for your county, then of course we're happy to do that and work with you on that. I really love looking at this list. It brings me so much joy. One, because it's sort of a summary of all of the conversations that have taken place over the last year and a half with regards to direct notification. And so, as you can see, I've had conversations. Our team has had conversations with, state agencies and, of course, individual counties. And we're really excited that so many counties have stepped forward to do their own direct notification. I think a couple of lessons that I've learned along the way is that every county operates differently. There are different sort of rules, policies, regulations that counties need to follow, even when it comes down to, how to actually get, let's say, the postcard printed. There's even sort of differences there on how each, a county will go about in doing that. But nonetheless, it's the work is definitely important. It obviously has not stopped us, despite several, hurdles that we've had to go through. But, I'm really proud to say that we've had wonderful discussions with counties, really listening first and foremost to the needs of each county, sort of where they see the need for direct notification, how to implement it, which department within the county makes most sense to partner with on this. It's typically the social services department that we work most closely with with each county. But again, there's also been other opportunities to include this initiative, in different county departments. So again, I know Patty said it, Sunny said it, Paul said it, having the support of counties sending out repeated messages really does make a difference, especially when there's a state agency currently doing that right now. So when households not only receive the information from, the Department of Social Services or Healthcare Services, and then they receive the same information from, their particular county, those two pieces received are just a really great opportunity for households to pick up the phone or visit the website or whatever it may be to get more information about how they can enroll into a low-cost offer, or even, they're paying too much right now for their internet, and so they need help with, maybe switching to a lower plan. Our call center agents are there to support households in all of those areas. Yeah, here it is, the direct notification from DHCS and CDSS. Really, this is our third round with both of these state agencies. And again, it's been a wonderful partnership there to work with them. So we encourage, counties to do the same. And now, and what I'm going to do, I don't have it handy. Maybe Patty, if you don't mind grabbing it for me. What I wanted to say before we move on is we have what we call office hours for direct notification. So if you are interested in learning about this partnership with CETF and how CETF can support you, your county, with offsetting the cost of some of the direct notification that comes along with direct notification, where I'm hosting office hours. So there's a link that Patty will throw in the chat. Feel free to schedule a time to meet with me and Patty to discuss how we can get a direct notification for your county off the ground. Okay, now we're moving on to my colleague Kyle O'Ryan. He is our Director of Policy and Communication, and he's going to talk to us about affordable offers by ISPs and Lifeline expansion.
Thanks, Marissa, for going over the direct notification efforts. Again, as Marissa said, I'm Kyle, and I'll be briefly discussing the affordable offers that are currently being offered by internet service providers, the current Lifeline program, and its potential expansion. Currently, most internet service providers are offering the affordable plans as part of their service territories. These affordable offers are generally in alignment with the Affordable Connectivity Program, also known as ACP, which offered eligible households with a subsidy of $30 a month towards their at-home internet service. These offers that are currently being offered by internet service providers or ACP mirror offers are at speeds of 120 megabytes for around $30 a month. As of February 2024, the Affordable Connectivity Program has ended, which federally, there is no guarantee that this program will be reinstated. Now that the Affordable Connectivity Program has ended, there is no guarantee that internet service providers will publicly announce that their ACP mirror offers or affordable offers will be continued. With this being said, internet service providers have said in closed sessions directly to CETF and in applications for public funds that they will continue to offer these affordable offers, but they can't announce it publicly. And they do often say that they will be having these plans for the foreseeable future. Now, with the Affordable Connectivity Program being frozen and ending, there is no subsidy assistance program in place for California households. As a note, CETF lists all of the ISP affordable offers with a zip code searchable tool where a household can see what plans are in their particular area. This tool is used by our call center agents and our CBOs to help enroll households and see what affordable offers are in a particular constituents area. Moving to the California Lifeline program, it currently offers fixed wired landline service or wireless cell phone service with some data capabilities. As a note, this does not include fixed broadband service at the home, as what ACP offered. It only offers very limited data on a cell phone. And as part of that, last legislative session, the Office of Governor Newsom set forth a proposal for the expansion of the Lifeline program to include at-home broadband service. But unfortunately, this legislative proposal stayed on suspense last session with AB 1588. And although the proposal stayed in the Appropriations Committee last session, stakeholders, including internet service providers and CETF, remain committed to work and have conversations during the summer months and during the beginning of this legislative session to work on a proposal for the expansion of Lifeline program to include at-home broadband. And after many conversations among stakeholders, Senator Maria Elena Durazo set forth a proposal to include at-home broadband as part of Lifeline expansion with SB 716, which will allow for the broadband subsidy to be applied to connectivity at the home. And I know these current offers by internet service providers and the expansion of the Lifeline program tells us and reinforces what Marissa and Patty have discussed, that direct notification by trusted sources is needed to inform Californians on what offers are in place, and it gives us a guarantee that direct notification will help inform eligible households. And then this ends mine, and I'm going to pass it over to Kirsten Olson, who will briefly discuss our next initiative.
I appreciate being here today to talk with all you wonderful counties about the California Green Technology Initiative. The California Green Technology Initiative is an opportunity for you to donate your old computers and digital equipment to generate funds for computing devices. The added benefit of this program is that by you donating your old computers and digital equipment, you can decrease the volume of retired devices that are dismantled or destroyed and shipped offshore, and increase the supply chain remaining in California that will help close the digital divide and protect the environment. This is a free service that you can use to dispose of all your retired computers and equipment. And another added benefit is that the income families and students get connected to the internet and reward families for learning computer skills to navigate the internet. So there are two ways for counties to participate in this green technology initiative, depending upon the size of your donation. So as you think about some old retired devices that have reached the end of their life cycle, devices that you may use in your offices or devices that similar offices that you work with, there are two ways for you to participate in the Green Technology Initiative, depending upon the size of the donation. Smaller donations, that's maybe a few hundred devices or pieces of digital equipment, we would encourage you to donate to a regional refurbishment company, and we'd be happy to coordinate those device donations for you. Here's a brief example of some of the trusted regional refurbishment companies that we work with here in California. In Northern California, there's a refurbisher called Computers for Classrooms. They're based in Chico. They do a wonderful service by refurbishing devices and giving them to students in classrooms in Chico Unified School District, and to low-income folks, including seniors who are in need of a device in the Chico area. There's another one in the Sacramento area called Computers for Kids, which we would also recommend you consider a donation to. They, as the name says, they offer refurbished computers for classroom age kids. And there's another one in the Northern California region called Tech Exchange. They're based in Oakland, and they are another wonderful refurbisher that not only puts folks to work in their warehouse by repurposing and refurbishing the devices and is a wonderful workforce development tool, but they also provide a wonderful service to the community there in West Oakland and East Oakland to provide those refurbished devices. They also provide tech support for those devices once they are delivered to a household. So the household can be assured that if there's a problem with a device, they can go back to the tech exchange facility and receive that tech support. In Southern California, there's another one that is a trusted refurbisher we would recommend called Human IT. They're based in Los Angeles. They also do a wonderful service with providing refurbished devices to households in need. And there's another one in the San Diego area, which I did not put on this slide, but they're called the San Diego Futures Foundation. And we'd be happy to coordinate any devices in San Diego as well. So if you have a larger donation, and what we would consider to be a larger donation is approximately 2,000 or more devices or laptops, we recommend working with a company that we have a partnership with called Revivin. They are a certified B Corp that provides companies an all-in-one solution for managing and repurposing your retired information technology assets. They're a really trusted company, very easy to work with. We recommend them very highly, especially if you have a larger donation. The pickups can be scheduled anywhere in the world. They will handle that pickup for you. There are no packing necessary. They refurbish the device and repurpose it as best they can if the device has some life cycle left in it. And if the device does not, they ethically recycle the remaining products of that device. I'm sure you might be concerned about data privacy or any data that would be on the device when it leaves your facility. If it's not already destroyed when it leaves your facility, Revivin destroys all asset data in accordance with NIST standards and the Department of Defense standards as well. So you can be assured that there's no remaining data left on the device. And another perk of working with Revivin is that they will provide you, the county, with a detailed reporting of the donation and its environmental impact. And the other thing, as I mentioned on the previous slide, is that you can also rest assured that once you make these donations through the Revivin program, that they will go to a family or a household that has completed our digital literacy training program. And so you can be assured that those devices will not only be given to a household itself, not only the device itself, but also be given a digital literacy training program. So we can be assured that the family will make good use of the device.
Thank you, Kirsten. Appreciate that. Next, we have our Q&A scheduled for now. So if there's anyone who has questions around any of the topics we covered, feel free to either come off mute, raise your hand, throw your question in the chat, and we will be happy to address any questions. Let's see, Sunny, oh, there's Sunny. Sunny, any comments you want to say before we move into Q&A?
I do. I do want to just thank my own colleagues, all of you who've just presented, and also acknowledge that we're joined by Charlene Tatis, our Director of Digital Inclusion, who works closely with you, Marissa, on digital literacy training, and with Kirsten with Revivin. And we're very excited about the Green Technology Initiative, which will be formally announced, publicly announced on Monday, June 2nd, with support from the governor's office. And in terms of taking next steps, if you, as a county, are looking at how do we determine what's happening today with the devices that are being retired, oftentimes the pickup of retired devices has been bundled in the original procurement, and all county staff people or have very full plates already, are overburdened, and often and it's not limited to counties, but private companies and other public agencies will say, well, wait, it's already taken care of in terms of the company that sold us the devices to begin with will pick them up and then they dispose of them. Most folks do not know what happens after, if they have that kind of, if you will, combined service of a vendor who provides devices and then also picks them up when they're no longer useful. Nobody asks, very few ask, let me put it that way, what happens with these devices? We have done a lot of research. We are working with Cal Recycle to also track all of the, if you will, steps that goes on with e-waste, recyclers, dismantlers, and our goal overall that is being supported by the administration is reduce the number of computing devices that are dismantled and or shipped offshore, and increase the number of computing devices that get donated to either regional refurbishers or a part of a partnership with CETF and Revivin. That's the green part of all of this. Do not add to more environmental waste, and at the same time, provide more affordable computing devices for low-income households. And every time a person can do something online remotely, that saves a vehicle trip, which reduces impacts on the environment as well. And so that's the logic behind it, for you to get to the next level of conversation in your county. you can just contact us. Go ahead and do it through the office hours. We will be coordinating that for the statewide Green Technology Initiative. So that's what I wanted to share and emphasize. And again, for any of these opportunities that we have available, there are office hours. We will be your partner. We will help you step by step tailor all of this support to your county. And I will say we have about $1 million left in the grant from the California Public Utilities Commission. As you saw the list of counties that have already done direct notification and are in the pipeline, we are working through those who are interested on a first come, first served basis. And the support has ranged from, I just want to sort of review this, as little as 25,000, for example, to Nevada County. In Siskiyou County, Supervisor Ed Valenzuela continues to be a one-person direct notification machine there, and he actually continues to do all of that on his own and through Siskiyou County. Felipe Hernandez Supervisor Hernandez in Santa Cruz County, they've also accommodated all of that internally. On the other end, Alameda County processed out to about 260,000 households Medi-Cal, CalFresh, and we sent a check for $240,000 to Santa Clara County. Incoming or current Vice President Susan Ellenberg, Supervisor Ellenberg from Santa Clara County, will be installed as president of CSAC in November in Santa Clara County. Led the way in Santa Clara County, and that was done in literally a period of less than 6 weeks, and we sent the money immediately to reimburse Santa Clara County, about 250,000 plus. So in Los Angeles County, Supervisor Holly Mitchell has facilitated and encouraged their partner, which is LA Care, who has their county or publicly sponsored health plan, to be our partner, and they are stepping up to assist again. And we had a great meeting with LA Care yesterday, but that's going to be a very large commitment that we will make. And so I'm sharing this with you so that if you're interested, make sure you get in line so that we can work with you immediately and reserve the remaining grant dollars from the California Public Utilities Commission.
Sonny, I think folks are a little bit shy today, maybe, but I wanted to tie in a couple themes that I heard today. One is just this constant reinforcement to be able to see us as a resource to strengthen our communities. And fundamentally, that's what we do within the county space, of being able to provide those public good and services to have strong and vibrant communities. And this is certainly a way to do it. Having the additional financial resources behind it, and the team, as we heard from those that make up CETF, your colleagues and peers, that really reinforces all this collective work. I mean, feel the expertise in the room. I love the new initiatives when you're talking about the green side of the house, of being able to say, what do we do with all this equipment? But once we get done with it, what is a way to be able to restore new life and to be able to invest it back into our communities, to be able to help the folks that need it. Getting into this realization that the funding shifts have changed from those early days when we were talking about ACP into additional ways to be able to support folks within this space, and knowing that that's still available and that you're advocating on our collective behalf to do it. And maybe the largest is that umbrella idea on the more that we can reinforce those things that we want to see within our communities at different levels, the more that folks lean into the space collectively with us. So you started off with talking about the state efforts. Patty, I know that your phone or your computer is blowing up right now with a lot of inquiries coming in from some pushes that were made from the state level. Being able to now reinforce it on the local government side of the house, and seeing the role that counties can do to be able to support those efforts and to be able to have resources to make it happen, is all great. great. This is why we do this work, all to advance excellence within county government space. So Sonny, I just want to thank you and your team